Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we are going to be continuing on with our C# programming tutorial series, and in this particular tutorial we are going to be taking a look at how we can finally make our shape list, our generic collections, iterable using a for each loop. Because if you recall from the last video, I made the mistake of using a for each for our shape list, which it can't do because shape list doesn't implement IEnumerable. Well, we can rectify that now. So, in our class, what we're going to do is before our constraint, what I want is I'm not in Visual Studio. So what I want here is we're going to go into our shape list. Alright, so in your shape list, or whatever your custom collection is, after our generic type parameter, however, before we have our constraint, we need a colon IEnumerable t, like that, less t greater. Okay, so now we're implementing IEnumerable, at least in our class declaration. We need now to provide the implementations for the two required methods of IEnumerable. One of them we don't need to touch, the other we will. And I'll tell you which one when we get there. So what I want you to do is do control dot and implement interface. Now we have the now we have a basic blueprint of these methods, and it is going to be let's see. Here we go. No, wait. Okay, here we go. So the first thing that you'll find here down at the very bottom, if you go upward from the bottom, is you'll find an IEnumerator, get enumerator, whatever. This we can just leave alone. This is a leftover from the non-generic IEnumerable interface, but we needed to implement it anyway. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We have this implemented, and if this is used for some reason, we're going to throw a not implemented exception, and that is fine for now. Now, public IEnumerator less t greater than, where we're returning an IEnumerator with a generic type t attached to it. This is the one that we need to modify. All right. Okay. So get rid of the throwing statement here, where we're throwing that not implemented exception. And what we want to do here is we need to first use a for each to loop through our array or list or whatever you're using as your internal storage for your custom collection. In this case, it's a list. So let's go ahead and do a for each t item in underscore data, like that. Now, inside of this for each, we need to make sure that when we are iterating through our custom collection with a for each, that each item is returned one at a time, not all at once. We don't want every element in our collection returned at the same time each time we iterate through our list. So to achieve that result of returning each individual element one at a time, we need to use the yield keyword in our return. So to do that, we need to say return yield item, like that. We'll say YIELD. There we go. There we go. Return yield item. And so now, if we go into our error list, we have 0162. Okay. So maybe that's not even the right maybe that's not the right order of words here. We'll say yield return item, like that. Let's try that again. Okay, let's try that again. Let's see what we got. Okay, so it looks like, let's try that again here. We'll say yield return item, like that. Okay, save that, check the error list again. Okay, we are good. So what we needed to do is we needed to yield returning the item. So yield return item. This essentially allows us to get each element in our collection one by one without loading the entire collection, which if the collection is big enough, it can be really bad in terms of memory usage. So there we go. If we save this now and we go into Program CS, we can change this last, we can go ahead and change this last for loop. And instead of doing that for with the counter variable, we can say for each cube C in list console write line we'll do some string interpolation here. We can say surface area C dot calculate surface area and volume calculate volume. Like that. And we can save this. We shouldn't have any errors anymore. The only warning is about potential null values, and that's fine. So now we can go ahead and run our code using a .NET run in our command prompt. Or you could do your Control F5 in Visual Studio, and that'll work fine as well. All right. And so there we go. That pretty much does it for how we can implement IEnumerable in our custom collections. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we will see you all in the next video.